12 and a half hours. There are exactly 12 and a half hours until the Switch 2 presentation tomorrow. I'm excited to say the least. This is just going to be a little unscripted, unedited video because, as I mentioned, 12 and a half hours. I don't have time to edit this video. So yeah, this is just going to be like a quick thing. Just giving kind of like my ideas and opinions on what I think we can expect for the Switch 2 presentation tomorrow, the Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2. Okay, so first of all, they're going to announce games. Yeah, I know. It's kind of one of my crazier predictions in this video, but yeah, no, they're obviously, yeah, we're going to see a bunch of games announced, and I think that they're going to do some tried and true, obviously, like big franchises. Like my number one, which I'm 100% certain, like there's no shadow of a doubt in my mind that there's going to be a 3D Mario game announced tomorrow. Like, I don't know what it's going to be, but I am pumped because I am a lifelong Mario fan, lifelong 3D Mario fan, all the way back to the, N64 days, right? So, I'm curious what they're going to do with it, and I think it's not even worth guessing, like, what the game is gonna be. All I'll say is I don't think it's gonna be Mario Odyssey 2. I think that would be a misfire for them to, because it would just be like, oh, it's the Switch 2, Mario Odyssey 2, this is just the sequel console. This isn't like a new thing that can stand on its own legs, but I think it's gonna be like a new, fresh thing. I'm so excited to see what it's gonna be, but that seems to be a given to me. I also think, outside of just the games themselves, I'm going to get back into more games, like ideas on what I think we can expect to hear about tomorrow. But I think the Switch itself, they're going to announce, obviously, the release date. That's also 100%. I'm confident in saying that they will announce the release date for the console. I think it's going to be June. I think I just heard it was Arlo. I heard Arlo say that he thinks it's going to be May. I mean, he probably knows more than me. I don't know, man. I feel like it's going to be June. May's crazy. That's next month. What? Like April showers brings May's Switch 2? You kidding me? No. That seems a little too soon. I mean, it could be, but I feel like they got to give people a little more time to, I don't know, scrounge up their savings a little bit. Not that this is going to be an expensive console. I don't know. Give people a little bit of time to prepare, get their pre-orders in. Think about if they want it. Think about if what Nintendo is offering, is going to be representative of, what people actually are looking forward to. So back to games, right? I guess let me actually reiterate. I think it's going to be June. That's not really based on anything. That's just a feeling. I feel like it's going to be a June release date. I think I saw on Reddit somebody posted a leak that it's going to be in June. I don't have anything to back that up. This is completely unverified. This is just one man's personal opinion. Anyway, but as I said, back to the games. So yeah, Mario Odyssey, or not Mario Odyssey, obviously, but a 3D Mario follow-up, right? Like, each console has to have its own, Each one has to have its own. I'm really crossing my fingers that they kind of stick with a Mario Odyssey style game, insofar as movement goes, right? So, I want it to feel like a 3D Mario, like Mario 64, like Mario Sunshine, like Mario Galaxy, like, Mario Odyssey. I'm hoping that we don't have more of a 3D world and Bowser's Fury movement. I think the movement feels much better in Bowser's Fury than it does in 3D world, but I'm not a fan. It just doesn't feel like Mario. It doesn't feel like 3D Mario should to me. It's not as freeing, so I'm hoping it's going to be something more along those lines and doesn't kind of lean into the, Mario world. And I feel like they have to understand, that's what people want. Anyway, I think I've talked enough about Mario Odyssey. Or, God, I keep saying it. 3D Mario. So, what else do I think we're going to see? I don't think we're going to see Metroid Prime 4, given the fact that we just saw Metroid Prime 4 in the previous one. So that's one of my predictions here. We're not going to see Metroid Prime 4, but if we do, this is another one that I heard from Arlo, and I think he's really onto something with this. It makes a lot of sense, right? I think that there will be Switch 2 editions of Switch games. And I don't think this will just be for new Switch games. I think they'll release Switch 2 editions of existing games. So like, Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Odyssey, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if Mario Odyssey really needs a Switch 2 edition, but maybe it'll have one. Who knows? Maybe some of the more recent releases, like Xenoblade Chronicles X, for all we know. Could be. We'll have to see, right? But I think that makes sense. I think that a lot of the games that were on the original Switch just did not run to their full potential, like Tears of the Kingdom, like Breath of the Wild, like, even Pokemon games, for instance. So I think that a lot of Nintendo's going to want to take advantage, right, of this new upgraded hardware, and, maybe give people... There's always been this loud vocal, I would even say majority, I don't know, a large group of people who are very vocally anti-Nintendo, anti-Switch. I understand being anti-Nintendo because they do a lot of stupid, shitty things. Of course, they do a lot of terrible things in the community, with copyright and stuff like that. But you gotta... what was I even saying? This is the problem with an unscripted video. Where was I going with this? I think what I was saying is another big critique, right, is that their games don't look very good when you compare them to games that come out for the PlayStation, for the Xbox, for PC. And yeah, I mean, that's true, but it's like, I don't know, as a Nintendo fan, that's not really like my priority. I'm not one of those guys that's like a PC purist and I'm like, oh man, I have to be playing Cyberpunk 2077 in the absolute, highest quality settings and it needs to be 1 billion frames per second. I don't know. It's going to be nice that games are going to play better because there are definitely some games that bothered me recently. Like, I hope that this is one that we'll see a Switch 2 edition of, Echoes of Wisdom, right? Because that game played like ass on the Switch, dude. That game played terrible. So hopefully there is going to be a Switch 2 edition for that one that upgrades it. We'll see. We don't even know for sure what Switch 2 edition games are going to be, what they're going to look like. We have no idea. Another thing that I think we're going to see is I think that the eShop on the original Switch is bad enough that it's kind of famously bad, and it's kind of entered the cultural zeitgeist, right? I think people think about the Switch eShop, and they think, oh man, that is just, it's terrible. It's so slow. So I think that's going to be, we're going to see a lot of kind of software and hardware things, right? Like things on the Switch itself that have to do with the menu and the operating system. We'll definitely see that in the presentation tomorrow, for sure. I think we'll see a whole breakdown of it. And I think one of the things they're going to harp on is the fact that the eShop is, gonna be like native, like an app, not just like a web page. I could be wrong. We'll see. Yeah, that's one of my predictions, though. I think we're going to see an improved Switch 2 eShop. In that vein, I think we're also going to see improved online features, because that's another thing that is famously bad, is Nintendo Switch Online. Their servers are whack. The connections are whack. Nothing really works. And also, we live in a digital age. We live in a very interconnected age of social media and this, that, and the other thing, right? And so it's not like it was when I was a kid, right? Where you had your Game Boy and you go and you talk to your friends over at recess about the Pokemon game that you're playing. That's what I did when I was a kid. That's who I talked to about my interests when I was a kid. Just my friends at recess at school. But we don't really live in that world anymore. Interests are very frayed nowadays, there's so many different interests, so many different niches, right? So it's like you could be a Switch fanatic and you meet another guy who's a Switch fanatic and they don't play a single game that's the same as what you play, right? So I don't know. That's just the reality of the world that we live in, that we've never been so splintered culturally and interests wise, right? So I think that it's a absolute must for Nintendo to include improved online features, and I think that they're going to, because I think that they understand that. I'm not really sure how good it is on Xbox, but I know PlayStation, you can kind of like chat a little bit. It seems like Nintendo has this kind of opportunity to make themselves stand out a little bit in being like the social console. And I think that it's kind of the perfect console for that. Now, I understand why they wouldn't want to do that, because that would, like, if they make a social network, right, like they had on the Wii U. I barely used my Wii U, so this isn't something I have like personal experience with, right? You know, back when the Wii U was popular, I literally played on my Wii U like probably under 30 times. Like that's how little I played the thing. But you know, they put their hands into like creating kind of a social media thing with on the Wii U, and I think that they're gonna do that again here. I'm curious because, like I said, right, they're gonna have to do content moderation on it. But maybe they know what they're doing now. Maybe they can implement more algorithms that can prevent people from posting like inappropriate things, or maybe just don't make it so that people can post drawings. You know what I mean? Because that's a recipe for outlines of dicks everywhere, right? Like that's just how you get people drawing penises constantly. You know, maybe just have a social feature, but it doesn't have to be like this cutesy thing with pictures and whatever. It just any sort of social features I feel like would be huge. I know that like I have a bunch of friends that use their Switch on occasion. They're not like crazy for the Switch. They're not like, you know, gargling Nintendo's balls or anything, but they use their Switch every now and then. And like the most connection that I have with my friends when they play the Switch is just like seeing that they're online and seeing which game they're playing and which games they've been playing recently. And I'm just like, it's boring. There's nothing with that, right? Like there's no people aren't posting like their ratings of games. Like you can't see that. You can't see what people rate games. You can't see like people posting, I don't know, just a random update, like a little tweet or something, you know? I don't know. I just think that that'd be nice. And I think we'll see something in that direction. That's going to be one of my predictions. I know I said I was going to circle back on games, but I don't have like a ton of thoughts on games. I feel like I already made a video where I predicted what games I expect to see on the Switch 2, so I feel like I would just kind of be rehashing that in a way. You know, I think we'll see an Animal Crossing. I don't think it's going to be a launch title. I don't even know if we're going to see it tomorrow. In fact, I don't think we're going to see it announced tomorrow. I think that'll be more like a year 2 kind of thing for the Switch 2, but who really knows, right? Not too much there, but that's just some of my ideas of things that I think we're going to see during the Switch 2 Direct tomorrow. I don't know. We'll find out in, oh my gosh, we're getting close to 12 hours now. Oh my God. How am I going to do this when I'm working? How am I going to watch this thing while I'm working? Tomorrow's a busy day of work too. Oh my God, it's a busy... Nintendo, why do you have to do it? Why do you got to do it tomorrow of all days? Like, could you do it on the weekend? Maybe. Help me out a little bit. Anyway, I hope you guys are looking forward to it. I know I am, and obviously, I don't know if I'll post a trailer reaction but I'll have a video out talking about my opinions. Believe you me. Anyway, I'll see you guys after tomorrow, after we learn about the first year of the Nintendo Switch 2. See you guys then. Peace.